Hello, this is Captain Perverto from Without Motherfucking Order. I'm gonna try to do this with as little amount of cuts as possible because I really hate those videos
where the guy goes on one side of the shot and says something stupid, then he goes on the other side of the shot and says something else,
and then he does it again. Now watch a video of this idiot bowling with his head. If you're watching this video, you may have seen or heard about our GoFundMe campaign to kill our drummer Crash. I started it last week and it spread like fucking herpes. And it made a whole bunch of like music sites and shit, and mainly from the RFT blog, but also as of today, it is now in the latest issue of the RFT newspaper thing, which is cool. So I have the article right here, and I figure, for those of you who don't get the RFT, maybe I'll just go ahead and read it to you. It's about pretty much the same as the article on the line, but there's a few added things in there. So I guess I just put on my reading glasses here, and yeah, see, hipsters, these are actual prescription lenses. So boom. So okay, and it's titled "Punk's Not Dead." Without Motherfucking Order attempts to crowdfund the murder of its own drummer. St. Louis's long-running Kings of Shock Punk, Without Motherfucking Order, started a new crowdfunding campaign last week with the stated intent of having the band's drummer Crash killed. With a goal of only $100, it actually seemed like one of the more fiscally feasible efforts of its kind. From the GoFundMe page, Crash has gotten so old that we at Without Motherfucking Order Industries have decided it's best he be euthanized. We have waited 16 years for him to die of old age, but recently discovered that he is a Highlander, much like Connor McLeod. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I don't give a shit. And the only way he can die is by decapitation. It's true. The members of the band envisioned a sort of head-ripping-off machine with which to get the job done. We tried to cut his head off with a sword, vocalist Captain Perverto says, but everyone at WMFOI are a bunch of nerds who only have those cheap samurai replicas. It would indeed seem as though Crash is immortal, having been a part of the local punk scene since the early days of St. Louis's very metal in the mid to late 90s. If you ever found yourself standing outside Vintage Vinyl in that time frame sporting any manner of punk rock apparel, there is a decent chance he approached you and started talking about it. We beg of you, please make this happen. It is for the greater good, the betterment of humanity, Perverto pleaded in the campaign's conclusion. He's eating all the vegetables that the animals need to eat to get nice and fat so they can feed the children. Do it for the children. Needless to say, GoFundMe pulled the crowdfunding effort after only 2 days, with $27 raised towards the goal, $27. Perverto isn't upset, though. We sold some more CDs, a few people are asking for interviews, and a bunch of fat gals say they want to gobble my penis. It's true. The only downside is, Crash is still alive and well, but you can't have everything. And just for the record, I had every donation refunded. I don't want your money, I'll take your cigarettes, though. It should also be noted that WMFO presently has a listing on Craigslist seeking a new bassist. It can probably be assumed that the band has ripped the head off the old one already. That's true as well. So, that's pretty cool, but the only problem is Crash reads the RFT. So he has now seen the article. And he's still stupid. He doesn't know we're actually trying to kill him. I mean, he's dumb as hell. But I told him, oh, it's a joke, right? But now he's seen it in his pictures. See his pictures right here. And he's giddy like a fucking schoolgirl, he's all coming up with these stupid ideas like, oh, and he took like 50 of these things. He's just like every RFT, I took like one, and he took about 50 of them, every one he can find, and he's like, oh man, maybe we'll take the article out and frame it and sell it or something. I'm like, no, stupid ass. I mean, the newspaper's free, for one, okay? See, look. I don't know if you can see it, but it says it right there. Fucking free. Alright? And he's trying to frame these and sell them for $1. And it's just like one of the many, many reasons why we want to kill Crash. So anybody from St. Louis or who knows Crash knows why he deserves to die. I mean, but for those of you who don't and don't really understand our quest here, you know, give me your phone number and I'll give you his phone number and you can talk to the fucking guy for 20 minutes. And you will want to murder him. I guarantee it. I can give you a few other examples. Our 2013 East Coast tour. Crash never brings enough money for all these tours that we do, and so this time he got a little crafty and he decided to bring some Seinfeld DVDs and some Garfield, what these, like Garfield cartoon books or some crap, and all these other various like knickknacks and junk, and he would set them up on at our shows on a table and made like this little like thrift store bazaar flea market thing at our shows, trying to sell this junk, and people actually bought the shit. But you know, if somebody bought a Seinfeld DVD and they were like, "Oh, I bought this, but I don't have enough money. I wanted one of your albums, but I don't have enough money now." So they bought the Seinfeld DVD instead of our album. And you know, I guess it makes sense because you know Seinfeld's probably better than our music, but you know, it's the principle of the whole thing. So Crash actually sold most of the shit he bought, and he still ran out of money. So we had to buy him his like nasty ass bean and cheese burritos for a couple of days, and he was just stinking up the fucking place, you know. And I mean, I don't know. I've never actually heard Crash fart before. I don't know what it is with vegetarian farts, but it's just like they're like or something like that, but they stink like a son of a bitch. Bringing up stinking up the place, also 2008, we were in Carson City, Nevada, and we went to this place called the Kit Kat Ranch. It was kind of close to Crash's birthday, so we're like, hey, you know what? You know, there's us and this other band. I'll try to put them in the description if I can figure out the name of them. I can't think of them now, but we were like, hey man, we'll all pitch in and get you a hooker for your birthday. So we went to the Kit Kat Ranch, and they set up all the hooker ladies in front of this mirror, and Crash, you know, stood there and he got to pick whichever woman he wanted. So he picked a girl, like the most youngest looking girl, you know, there, and you know, like when as soon as he pointed to the girl, like you just saw this cloud of sadness just go over her face, and all the other girls are like, ah. So, but anyway, so what was it? It was like 2 a.m, and he wanted to 69 this broad. She'd already been working there like 8 hours already. So who knows? Who knows how many fucking penises she has had to endure that night already? And he wants to fucking, you know, just bury his nasty old face in her vagina. And but so she obviously did not want that to happen. So she just threw out like a crazy number, like $500. And you know, nobody could afford that. So he settled with a blowjob for $150, I think. And so they go back there, and they're back there for a while. I'm here I'm at the bar buying the other hooker ladies drinks and stuff like that. So he comes out about 30 to 45 minutes later, and we're like, oh, how was it? And he's like, it was stupid. I don't know why you guys did this. And And we're like, fuck you, you unappreciative little bitch. Dude hasn't been laid since like the early 1800s, and he's fucking whining about getting a blowjob. But he was like, oh, they made me wear a condom, which makes fucking sense. I mean, in reality, they make everybody wear a condom, no matter what the hell you're gonna do at a brothel. They make you wear a fucking condom, but apparently he doesn't like condoms. And it's the only good thing is he only has one ball, so he can't get anybody pregnant. So even if he doesn't wear a condom, it's not a big deal. But then he was also like, oh, and then like near the end, I was about to come, and then I farted, and she kicked me out. And like, are you really whining about this? That the girl stopped because you farted in her fucking face? I mean, give me a break. I mean, so that was just like $150 just thrown down the fucking drain. Trying to help the guy out, and he just totally fucks it up. I mean, how do you fuck up getting laid with a hooker? How? I don't understand how that works. But he did it. He managed to fuck up fucking a hooker. So, I mean, it's just, the guy's a fucking idiot, he's just old. He's an old, ugly, like, nasty, midget, leprechaun guy, and he needs to die. I mean, that's all there is to it. He's way past his prime. I mean, what do you think? I wrote a song called Euthanize the Elderly, and that is about him. Pull the plug. But he's a Highlander, so we have to chop the head off. So, please, any midgets out there with nice sharp swords, please, come kill Crash. And don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
And be sure to buy our albums on iTunes and CD Baby.